What's going on, you guys? We are going to talk about something that I've been looking at over the last couple of hours, kind of tracking this and thinking about how this is going to affect Voyager Digital. We're going to take a look at possibly SHIBA INU coin taking Voyager to the next level when it comes to revenues for Q4. Now, I might be going super out on a limb right here. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below after you hear my rationale behind this. I would love to hear what your thoughts are. This is just something I noticed and thought, hey, this could be something that's a game changer for Voyager in Q4, and this is something we have to pay attention to. So first off, I want to talk about the fact that Robinhood had massively boosted Q2 revenues from Dogecoin. Dogecoin accounted for nearly 62% of the commission-free cryptocurrency trading app Robinhood's revenue of $233 million in the second quarter. So this is just from Dogecoin. This is across all their cryptocurrencies, and from what I'm hearing here, it's across all revenue streams. So that includes stocks and options and however else they make revenue, whether it's margin interest or whatever. So in its earnings report to U.S. authorities, Robinhood, which last month launched its IPO, this is obviously an old article here, highlighted a significant increase in its crypto revenue in Q2 2021 when compared to the same period last year, from $5 million to $233 million. Now, Dogecoin has obviously gained a lot of popularity, and it gained a lot of publicity because of Elon Musk and what he did for Dogecoin. So obviously this is a crazy time to be in crypto, especially Dogecoin. There's a lot of people who made a lot of money and a lot who lost a lot of money. Now, how does this actually relate back to what we're talking about here with Voyager Digital? Well, let's jump over here and take a look at this chart, because Voyager Digital has just been absolutely decimated over the last 3 months. You can see here that they've had less than stellar share price over the last 3 months. They did hit a high here of roughly $17.49 on August 9th, but it's just kind of been downhill from there. We had a huge spike in volume and a drop in price here when they kind of released, I believe it was preliminary at this point, those preliminary results for Q3, saying, hey, our revenue has dropped pretty significantly, so just something to keep in mind there. It's going to be a rough quarter. And the share price is continued to dwindle, and I've continued to add to my position. Now this now makes up roughly, at less count, I think it was like somewhere between 30 and 40% of my overall portfolio. So this is very important to know. Also, I do just want to point this out with Coinbase here. Let's take a look at Coinbase and just see this massive run that this company has gone on since the start of October. Now, October 4th, they hit a low of $225, and now today are sitting at roughly $325 as of the time of this filming. So that is a massive increase. That's like what, almost 30% increase in just the last 3 weeks or so for Coinbase. Now, obviously, Voyager has not seen that massive increase as well, and I think it's yet to come. I think this is just an underappreciated stock that is going to completely take off here in the next little bit. I could easily see 30 to 50% upside in just the next couple of months, if not even more. I could easily see this doubling, and it would not surprise me. So let's jump back over here and get to the actual point of this video that I want to talk about here. So Voyager Digital fiscal Q1, which is Q3 in the year, revenue falls 40% from the quarter before. So obviously that's not great news. Now, the thing I want to point out here is we're jumping over here to CoinMarketCap, taking a look at Dogecoin and looking at the volume that we see and what we saw in Dogecoin for during this time, right? So this is Q2. I want to see how this relates to Robinhood and how much, how they pulled in so much revenue from just Dogecoin in that quarter. So you can see that there's a ton of trading going on here in Dogecoin. Let's get to the beginning of March. So we've got March 1st. And we're sitting, this is volume in USD. So this is 1.5, 1.3, 1 billion. You can see this kind of in this 1 billion range for quite a while. And then it starts to explode and take off. Here, I think it was like the second week of April. Yeah, here we go. So 20 billion, 17, 69 billion. This is the all-time high for what it hit on volume. Just absolutely insane amounts of volume right here. And it traded, in really high amounts for the couple of weeks after that. So 31, 23, 30, 28. And I thought, man, this is a lot of volume. So I wanted to come over here and actually make this graph. So if we come over here and take a look at this. So I added up the volume for those 3 months from from April, May, and June. I added those in. I know that we started at April or back here in March, but I actually meant to start in April to kind of show you guys what I'm talking about here. But looking at April, May, and June for Dogecoin, we had a total volume right here of $903 billion, $904 billion, $743,980,342. I think I said that right. So anyway, that's the total volume that was traded for those 3 months. Now, if we take a look at SHIBA INU, this is seeing also increasing volume. We're seeing pretty good numbers here. Now, this is obviously a lot lower. If we come back here and let's take a look at October, because I want to see how this is going to compare for the fourth quarter for Voyager, because as you may or may not know, you cannot trade Shiba Inu on Robinhood at this time. So most of these people who are trying to get in on this, they're trying to hold it or trade it or do whatever they want with this, are going to either Voyager, or honestly, most of them are going to Coinbase where you can trade it, right? So most of those people are going to go to Coinbase, but a lot of them are going to go to Voyager where they can actually trade this and get in on it, because you cannot do that at this time with the Robinhood app. So Robinhood is going to miss out on this, but I think Voyager has a big potential to pick up on a lot of the revenue from this. So you can see here that they were trading, October 1st, 300 million, 300 million, 600 million, 5 million, 5 billion, 9 billion, 15 billion, 18 billion. This is the insane run up that we saw here at the beginning of October. If you would just watch this volume, I mean, you can see how the price reflects that, right? You go from 7766, 824, 906, 14, 19, 28, 35. You can see that as the volume increases, the price increases as well. This is like almost a 5x or so in just a couple of days here. So something to kind of keep in mind going forward. Now, I added those up and took the beginning of October through the 23rd, which is the date we have information for, and we come to a total of $113 billion over the last 23 days. Now, I gave us a run rate. I just took this number and times it by 3, and this gave me a total run rate of for these 3 months, which I'm assuming that if we kind of maintained somewhat relative volume here for Shiba Inu over the next 3 months, that we would be at roughly $339 billion. Now, this is obviously not including the rest of October, and there's a lot of changes. Who knows? This could go bonkers or could absolutely die and go bankrupt. Who knows? But what I'm pointing out here is that I think we'll probably end the year somewhere between 300 and potentially, $500 or $600 billion in total volume for Shiba Inu. So because Robinhood is missing out on a lot of that revenue, I think a lot of that revenue is going to flow to Coinbase. But I think even just a byproduct of that, a lot of that revenue is going to flow to Voyager, where people can actually trade this. Also, with the gains that we've seen recently in Bitcoin and just cryptocurrency in general, let me jump back over here. If we find the beginning of October, you can see we've been on a massive run here in October. We climbed really high, had a little sell-off, and we've kind of climbed back up here now. So Bitcoin is obviously doing very good, which is going to bring revenues back. This is going to be a massive quarter for Voyager. This is just something I wanted to talk about. I might be way out on a limb here, but just something that I pointed out. It'll be interesting to see kind of how this all comes together and plays out over the fourth quarter. But guys, I'm telling you, if you are sleeping on Voyager, now is still a good time to get in. We had this little run up last week where we actually ran up to 1065. I bought shares here at like $9.08. I think that was the lowest I got it. So almost here at the bottom. And a lot of them are at like the 950 mark, 950, 960. So right here, I'm even on a lot of the shares I bought, but I'm also still slightly underwater because I was buying shares at $20 back when we were at that high. So we did see this little run up right here. Unfortunately, the stock has kind of fallen since then. So we are down back to the 952 mark. But guys, if you're sleeping on this, you need to get in on Voyager. I think this is an easy 2 to 3x over the next 12 months, which is vastly going to outbeat the market and something you need to take a part of. So I don't know about you guys, but Voyager is looking really good. I'm a huge believer in this. Like I said, it makes up about 30 to 40% of my overall portfolio, maybe even a little bit more. I don't know. Tesla and some of my other holdings have been running quite a bit lately, so I don't know the exact percentage, but it does make up at least 1/3 of my overall portfolio here in Voyager. So I'm a huge believer in this company. I think they've got a really bright future, and I'm excited to see how this will maybe 10 or 20x hopefully over the next 5 to 10 years or so. So that wraps up this video here, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Let me make myself a little bigger here. Give me a thumbs up here on the video. Subscribe to the channel. And I talk about Voyager. I talk about real estate. I talk about all sorts of things here on this channel. So subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and we'll catch you in the next one.